Welcome to another episode on the News Review. The Distance Learning Institute DLI is the organ of the university that operates and coordinates the open and distance learning programs. It has an enhanced status as that of a faculty in the university. It has its own management board and an academic board. It is empowered to formulate its own policies, employ its own staff, and be responsible for academic programs, examination, supervise its day-to-day affairs, and of course, generate funds for its operations. That being said, on the 28th of September, the Institute recently commissioned the Equal Opportunity E-Resource Center, among other projects to enhance learning. Today's topic is centered on DLI and the recently commissioned Equal Opportunity E-Resource Center. With me in the studio to shed more light on our topic is a professor of science education and the director of Distance Learning Institute of the University of Lagos. But we'll go on this short break, and when we return, you'll get to meet my guest. My name is Vina Peters, and we'll be right back.
What's poppin'? Welcome back. This is still G Sport on Unilag TV, and now it is time for Shot O'Clock. Let the games begin, and I feel like I should go first because I'm the host. So yeah,
go first. Sorry, what you
proud much? Yes, me.
Proud much.
Dance. Wizzy boy, make me dance. Daddy, oh, make me dance. Hey. I'm rich. Maya now.
Royalty. Isn't this perfect? Okay, the one in my head is I will never be royals, royals.
Yeah. Drink. Drink up. Drink. Take a shot.
Okay. Welcome back. If you just joined in, it's the News Review on Unilag TV, and follow us across all our social media pages at Unilag on TV. Like I said earlier, our topic is centered on DLI and the recently commissioned Equal Opportunity E-Resource Center. And I have Professor Uchenna Udeani, who is the director of Distance Learning Institute of the University of Lagos. Welcome, Prof.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, you did.
Okay, ma'am. All right, so quickly, what exactly is the E-Resource Center?
An e-resource center is a center that functions with ICT platforms to make content, teach content, share content. So that is an e-resource center. The recently commissioned e-resource center is combining both for teaching, for assessment, and for training. And why is it called Equal Opportunities E-Resource Center? Is because it gives everybody a level playing field to be able to partake in training, to be able to partake in teaching, and learning and sharing of information. And we have 2 big rooms upstairs for our CBT activities, for e-resources and other things, but it's on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
And being on the 2nd floor, it's difficult for anybody with any form of disability to access it. I'll give you an example. How would a student that is using crutches climb 2 flights of stairs to get to the resource center upstairs? How would a student on a wheelchair be able to get to the 2nd floor where the former e-resource centers were? So on one of the occasions that the Vice Chancellor visited, he saw us backing one of our students from his wheelchair up to the 2nd floor. And he just said to me, is this a global best practice? And I said, no, it's not. But that we are working on it. So what we did was to create a room on the ground floor.
Okay.
That we take 54 workstations.
Okay.
Being on the ground floor has made it accessible. So that is accessibility number 1. It's on the ground floor. So if you're on the wheelchair, you can wheel yourself to the room. If you are with crutches, you just quietly enter the room. And if you are visually impaired as well, you are a minder, we just take you maybe 10 steps and you enter the room.
Okay.
And the tables are bigger.
Okay.
And the workstations have more spaces along the aisles. And also we have better lighting facilities in that e-resource center.
Okay.
And I can tell you one thing, when our collaborators came from Gambia, Senegal, and Liberia, so one of them asked me when we got to the e-resource center upstairs, how do you handle an obese somebody? That the cubicles are small. And I told him that's why we have the
Ground floor.
equal opportunities.
Okay.
Equal opportunities actually is about putting everybody on a level playing field.
Okay.
So if you are too big, you don't feel discouraged when you get upstairs and the cubicle is small. Is this width? So it's just to take people like me, like you.
Yes.
If there's a big, maybe 100 kg person, that place will be too small.
Choked up.
So we have taken care of that
Okay.
downstairs. So it's like we have opened up access. We don't want anybody to feel discriminated against. So we took care of all challenges in terms of body size, in terms of mobility challenges, in terms of visual impairments, in terms of pregnancy. Because we have noticed that during our residential programs, a pregnancy becomes a challenge when you have to get maybe an 8-month-old pregnant woman to get up to the 2nd floor. So we have opened that space to take care of all forms of challenges that people may have. And at times, people are also weak to get up to that 2nd floor. So the students will know that we have that. So if I feel that this afternoon, I don't think I can get up to the 2nd floor, then you just walk into the lower ground floor.
So you're saying that e-resource center is not just for people with disabilities, but every student.
No, not every student.
Okay.
If you come there, we may not allow you, because as I'm looking at you, you are looking fit.
What if
I will tell you to
tired?
climb up. But if you are pregnant, you will go there. If you are
Okay.
visually impaired, also you will go there.
Okay.
If you are walking with crutches, you will go there. If you're on wheelchair, you are going there. If you are obese,
Okay.
and we feel that the cubicle upstairs will be too small to contain your body, we can tell you to go there. But we won't tell you, particularly for those who are fat, particularly for the women. We are not going to stand in front of the door and tell you go to the ground floor.
Okay.
It will be made available. The conditions will be made available to the students, so that if you feel that you are challenged, then you can go on the ground floor, so that it doesn't look like we are
Just insulting someone.
like will I say like labeling anybody, obese, fat.
Okay, so what's the long-term impact of this e-resource center?
Open access, inclusion, diversity, fairness, that is equity. That's the long term, so that everybody feels everybody matters. That's one of the labels on the e-resource. Everybody matters, inclusion, diversity, and equity. And we have said non-discriminatory practices, inclusion, so everybody is on a level playing ground.
All right, so how do you promote accessibility for the e-resource center?
Like I said before, you know, it's even a requirement now for NUC. You need to make every classroom wheelchair accessible.
Okay.
So every facility we have in the LI is wheelchair accessible. You know, when you look at open distance education, it's an education that takes care of diverse learners.
Yes.
You have, when you say open access, it means that there's no restriction whatsoever. Age is not a restriction, tribe, gender, all those restrictions that you may have in the block and mortar classrooms, we have removed it in the open distance learning mode, so that everybody feels comfortable coming to learn on the ODE mode, open distance education mode. So because you have a diverse group of people, you are going to make your facilities for a diverse group of learners with different characteristics. And those characteristics we have taken care of in terms of our physical facilities. So it's open. It's the access there is available, and like I said, the conditions will be placed on the student platforms, so that on your own you will know. Because what we are trying to create as well is to make students know that that facility is available and they can use it if they feel they need to use it. It's like independent opportunity, independent living.
Okay.
So if I'm on a wheelchair, I don't need my friends to carry me up.
Exactly.
So those facilities that promote independent participation of students is also what we are trying to engender in the LI.
Okay, so what are the steps that have been put in place to handle maintenance for proper maintenance for the e-resource center?
Yeah, if you look at the university in the past 4 or 5 years that have come into the managerial level of the Distance Learning Institute, you will notice that with the help of the management, we acquired a brand new 350 kVA generator.
Yes, I was aware of that.
Yes, which we commissioned early in the year. We have another one that is manual 60 kVA.
Okay.
So it's like we have standby for standby. And e-resource centers are run on generator. So there's absolutely no problem with power outage.
Okay.
Because once you go into training with CBT, learning with CBT, assessment with CBT, you run that particular room on generator.
Okay.
Yes, it doesn't run on NEPA. It doesn't run on NEPA.
Okay. There's a particular question on my mind, and I'm like, okay, I think I have to ask you. For people gaining admission into the university, now, is there a percentage for disabled and non-disabled?
For us in DLI, because we have the facilities to take care of students with challenges, because that's particularly the policy of ODE, that you must have open access. Okay. So open access takes care of all categories of learners. We even call them learners, not students. Okay. So it takes care of them. So we don't have any quota per se. Anybody who wants to enter the DLI is, once you meet the criteria in terms of the qualifications, you are eligible to apply, and also eligible to be admitted.
Okay,
yes.
that's fair enough. So we decided to ask students and parents what form of admission they would prefer, probably JAM or DLI, and this is what they had to say. Take a listen.
Distance Learning Institute of every university is the arm of the university that takes care of the adult education. And so many people have decided to either go to universities through JAM or through the distance learning. And so we are here at the International School Lagos to find out from students and parents whether they would prefer to go to DLI to gain university education or to go through the JAM.
Actually, DLI is Distance Learning Institute, which means that when someone is learning, they're way to make money as they are earning, because it gives you more to spend and more money to do a lot of other things. But JAM gives you this like examination where a lot of people find it very hard to like pass, and it's very complicated according to some people who don't get my admission on time. Distance Learning Institute, like, is the quickest way to like gain admission. It's better than JAM. So in my own opinion, I'll go for DLI. Although JAM is more famous than DLI.
Thank you very much. And so would you rather gain admission through DLI to the university or the normal JAM admission process?
Okay, like you said now, say DLI is faster and easier, and you make money while you're doing it. So like I probably go for DLI also. Because like you make money, you relieve your parents of like the money they are giving you weekly or monthly, you relieve them of it, so you can buy some other things you need for yourself. And as you're doing that, you are learning also. So DLI is better.
JAM. Because JAM is better. People talk more about JAM, and we all have our opportunity to write JAM at once and make our papers. Rather than if you fail JAM, that's when you get an opportunity to distance learning institution. So I prefer JAM. I think JAM is a better opportunity to go through than to having to go write the second paper to enter DLI.
Yeah, I'll prefer to go through distance learning institute because you still have the opportunity to work while you are still in school. Like part-time now, you can work while you are still in school. So I'll prefer distance learning institute, DLI.
Thank you very much. Would you rather gain admission through JAM or distance learning institute?
I'd rather gain admission through distance learning because it will be easier to work and to with your education, to ease your parent burden, because nowadays there's no money in the country, like everyone is own business and ASU is not helping matter. So it's better to work, and doing education should be better.
Well, I prefer my children to get to university through JAM, but I love something to challenge. Through JAM, they will first do the JAM exam, they will do the post-JAM, so then before getting to university. So I prefer than going to DLI.
It depends. I'm saying it depends because if DLI, what they do there, of course, like we have over here, if it's steady, there's no disruption, and we see the students that come out are very competent. Why not? Because what is on ground now seems to be very confusing. JAM has conducted so many, they are still conducting. And the students or the candidates that have gotten their JAM now, they are not going anywhere. I am thinking that JAM should have sat down, to put their house in order. Why doing another JAM? Something reasonable should be, should come up from them, not just doing exam. The way I'm seeing it is like they are more interested in money, not necessarily on the candidates and the outcome of what they are doing. So if DLI is steady, why not? For instance, now we don't even know who is moving forward and who is not moving. There's confusion everywhere. But if JAM were to be what it used to be long time ago, JAM is okay. But with what we have on ground now, DLI, so that students will not just be stagnant. Because JAM will just wait for you. When you come, you do it and go. But DLI, is steady. I have people that have gone to DLI, it's steady. Every now and then they come. Before you know, they do the exam. So something is moving. Stagnancy is very bad, though. It's very, very bad. So for me, something that is steady is what I prefer.
When you are talking about students going to the university through JAM or to go to DLI, that's a reason for setting up a DLI. DLI is supposed to be meant for adults, okay? People who did not go to normal regular school, people who are already working and they just want to have a university education. Then as for JAM, they have age limit, okay? It's because students are no longer getting admission through JAM. That is why they prefer going to have their education through DLI. In DLI, like I said, it's meant for adult people who have experience in life. They are working and through their spare time, then they go to school, especially weekend and during the holiday. Because people who know the two, there's limitation for anybody that goes to attend the DLI at the end of the day when they finish. You get now? They are not well grounded like people who went through the normal regular courses. So I rather prefer my child to go to the university through JAM rather than DLI.
It depends on the age of the child. If my child is matured, working, earning income, I may opt for DLI because distance learning is mainly for the class. I think those that are working, not teenagers. Those that are working, and another cogent reason where distance learning, open studies, open university is vital is what we experienced during COVID. During COVID, the conventional method of teaching and learning was brought to a halt. So people could not go to classrooms. Teachers, lecturers could not come in. So this, in a disguise, promoted the reason behind distance learning.
The Distance Learning Institute of every university is the arm that takes care of adult education. But most students now go through JAM or distant learning. And so we are here at the International School, Lagos, to find out from students and parents whether they prefer going to the university through JAM or distant learning. My name is Florence Okav.
All right, so we just felt the pulse of students and parents alike. So, Prof, you heard what the students said. You also heard what the parents said. So, what do you have to say about their concerns?
Okay, let me take it one by one.
Okay.
I want to address particularly the one about access.
Okay.
And the age limitations.
Exactly. Okay.
In open distance education, what we promote is open access.
Okay.
So there are no age barriers.
Okay.
So anybody can be a learner on the open distance learning platform. Earlier on, maybe in the last 3-4, prior to 2016, we had age limit of 31.
Okay.
You must be at least 31 before you can enter open distance learning education. But when it was becoming very difficult for the conventional universities to absorb everybody into their programs, distance learning institutions, we are now empowered to lower the admission age.
Okay.
So that those students that are not able to enter into the conventional education can enter through the open distance learning education. So that's why we lower the age to 16.
Okay.
So at the age of 16, you can be either in the conventional university face-to-face, or you can opt to be in the open distance learning mode.
Okay.
Then I also want to take on the students that say that they would like to be working and studying, and I think that is what the open distance education is preaching, is that you can work and learn. And it enables those who have work that they are doing, they have businesses that they are running, or they are even housewives.
Okay.
They can combine all they are doing and still study.
Okay.
Because open distance education is, you can learn anywhere, anytime, any place.
Okay, now you said the age, you guys reduced it to 16. So in a case whereby I want to study law and I am 16, 17, does the open distance learning have provision for that?
It does, through the National Open University, because they are the only university now running law on the ODL mode.
Okay, but my certificate is not going to carry the University of Lagos if I go through National Open University.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that any program can really be run. It's a platform. Open distance education is just a platform. I'm not physically in the classroom, but I'm on a virtual classroom. So it's synchronous, it's asynchronous. So asynchronous is that I can run it after. I can watch my classes later. Synchronous is as it's going on, I'm watching it. I'm in the virtual classroom, physically in my virtual classroom.
Exactly.
So it's just the platform. Like you enter into a classroom and sit down on a chair, I will open my laptop and enter into a virtual classroom. So those are just the two basic things. It's the platform of learning.
Let me break down my question.
Yes.
I understand now runs open distance learning, but I want to go to the University of Lagos and they do have a distance learning.
Okay.
And I want my certificate to carry the University of Lagos. And I want to study law.
No.
Exactly.
We don't have all the programs.
Okay.
And the NUC policy for open distance learning institutions just gives you certain courses to be run on ODE mode.
Like how many courses?
Like here in my own institute here, we do all the programs in education. We can do all the programs in management sciences, social sciences, and then in the sciences, but like engineering, environmental sciences, law, medicine. We are not doing those ones. We are just about to even start preparing to see if we can bring in nursing.
Okay.
Yes, that's the next thing we want to try and bring in. But there are courses that you can run, that the NUC allows you to run on open distance education. Not everything can be run according to NUC policy. But I think gradually they are opening up the space. And also with the National Open University as well, there are some courses that they can only run on in their university. It's not every university that, like, they're not doing medicine, they're not doing engineering. So there are some courses that they can also run on ODE mode.
Okay, ma'am. So on a final note, what do you have to say to those students who have gained admission into the Distance Learning Institute of the University of Lagos?
Yes, on a positive note, we have tried as much as possible to make our students feel at home and to change their perception about open distance education, because some of them think it's inferior, some of them think they don't get enough. It's for them to have the perception that is positive. It is also for them to work hard, because we still have some students that are also not serious in the face-to-face. It's not that you're in the face-to-face, it makes you serious.
Yes.
We have first-class students as well.
Yes.
Some of our students finish in first class and they are very good.
Yeah.
I think that once a learner or student is ready to work hard, apply yourself to your learning, I think that they will do well. And we can put in a lot of facilities, a lot of programs and processes for them to be able to do well in their studies. We have skill programs for them where they can update their digital skills. We also have digital tools for them to borrow to use in their studies. So we are trying to make it as accessible to them as possible. And if you are around the premises, we are connected to Wi-Fi. Because data is expensive.
Data is life.
And the program runs with data. So once you are within the premises, you can hook into the Wi-Fi. But once you're out of the premises, then you need to buy your own data. It's expensive. So that's why we try to ease it down on them. And then if you are there, you can download all your lectures into your phone.
Yes.
That is, if you also have a smartphone. You know, ICT platforms are expensive, and it's like a DLI student must own a smartphone, or you must own a tablet or a laptop.
It's all right, ma'am. It's been a pleasure speaking with you on the show. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming.
Also, thank you for having me.
It's all right. Okay, so we've been speaking with Professor Uchenna Udeani, the Director of Distance Learning Institute at the University of Lagos. Thank you for joining us. All right, so we have come to the end of our program for today. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you sometime next week. My name is Vina Peters. Bye for now.